It's the season to buy so many gifts, and if you're considering buying yourself or a loved one a Nintendo Switch, then I have the perfect guide for you. And even if yourself or a loved one has the Switch but you're looking for more gift ideas, then stick around because I'm sharing a lot of accessories as well as over 30 games that you can choose from. So let's get started by talking about which Nintendo Switch you need to buy. Now you basically have three options. You have version 2, you have the OLED or the Lite. To simplify things, version 2 is the upgraded version, which mostly benefits from an upgraded battery from the original one. That's pretty much what I know about it. And it's also $50 cheaper than the OLED. Whereas the Nintendo Switch that I have is the OLED, and it is this one. It is $50 more expensive, but you get a really beautiful screen, you get the extended battery life, and you have very beautiful and vibrant colors to enjoy. Now, both of these let you change the Joy-Cons, so as you can see, you can take out both Joy-Cons and change them out, and you can also use the dock, so you can play these on the TV instead of playing in handheld mode. And the third option is the Nintendo Switch Lite, which I feel is more catered towards kids, or if you're someone who travels a lot and you're always carrying your Switch with you. Now, be aware that the Nintendo Switch Lite is much smaller, and with that, it has a smaller size screen, and not all of the games are gonna look as good as they are, because I've seen that the font size is very small and it makes games a little bit too difficult to read. Also, the Joy-Cons cannot be taken out, so you can't really depend on them to either play in multiplayer or even change their color if you want to, unless you want to go with a skin. As well as you're not able to dock it, meaning you always have to play in handheld mode and you cannot play on the TV. Now that you have your Nintendo Switch, which you are swinging around right now and you're so happy with, it's time to talk about all the accessories that you can get for it. Now let's first talk about the SD card, which is the storage that you can use for your Nintendo Switch. If you're planning to go physical with your games, then I think the 64 gigs or however gigs you're gonna get are plenty enough for you. But if you're gonna be going all digital and you watch a lot of my sales videos and my eShop videos, then I think it's not gonna be enough. It's gonna disappear faster than the Christmas cookies will. And I do suggest that you go around 400 to 500 because you don't want to keep just moving games around from one SD card to the other as you're always buying new and newer games. Just buy one that is a little bit more expensive, but it's gonna stay with you long term. Moving on to controllers, your Nintendo Switch is gonna come with an accessory that lets you take out the Joy-Cons and then put them in that thing, and it will act like its own controller. However, I highly suggest that you get yourself a Pro controller. I have the Splatoon Pro controller and I really love it. I think it makes my docked gaming sessions a lot better and I really enjoy playing with this one. I actually wanted the Xenoblade one, but I couldn't find one that was decently priced, so I just went with this one, and it's still really good, and I really suggest that you get this, and it could be a perfect gift as well if your loved one or yourself already have a Nintendo Switch and you're looking for a gift. Next up, we're gonna be talking about screen protection. This is very important, and I think it should be the first thing that you get once you get your Nintendo Switch, because you do not want to shatter that beautiful screen of yours. So definitely buy a screen protection, and you can find a lot of them on Amazon or eBay or Walmart or wherever you get your gadgets and electronics from, and you can find many that comes in packs of 2. So if you do mess up putting that screen protection in its place, you can just switch it out and try the second one. And after that, of course, you need a case to protect your gorgeous new baby. Now, this is the case that I use. It's actually Mario inspired, and when you open it up, you have your cartridges over here, and then you can put your Switch over here, and it comes with this little baby so you can clean your screen, and I think it's really important. Now, you do have different types of cases. This one is not very tough, so it might damage my Switch, but I don't go a lot with my Switch anywhere. I just move from the kitchen to the bedroom to the living room, so it doesn't really matter. But there are other ones which are hard case, and some of them are also even waterproof. Now, once you get to playing on the Nintendo Switch, after a little while, you're gonna see that it's really not the most comfortable, because as you can see, your right thumb is pretty much squished and it's just not comfortable whatsoever. So I think at this point, it's safe to say that you need to start considering a grip case. I'm gonna talk about the ones that I've personally tried, which are the Satisfy and the Skull & Co. When it comes to the Skull & Co, I have the crystal version over here, and I love it because you can actually change these grips. As you can see, you can take this out and you can change it, and there are different sizes so it can fit your hands. And a little trick that I did, because I'm not gonna be buying a new one, I'm not gonna buy a new one because it doesn't actually fit the OLED, because this one is much smaller. I just cut off this over here, and now I'm gonna show you. It just fits perfectly in the Switch, and I don't have to buy a new one. So there's a trick for you. See, it just fits perfectly. The second grip company is called Satisfy, and they made this one that looks like this, but it does not fit the OLED whatsoever, but they did make a new version, which is working fine. But my problem with it is that on its own, it's already a little bit heavy, and I have tennis elbows, so I want something that is light, and I felt like the Skull & Co is just much more comfortable for my play sessions, and I tend to play much longer with it. By the way, the Skull & Co has another model, which is, I think it's just matte black, and you cannot switch those grips. So if you want to switch the grips, make sure that you're making the right selection on this website. Now on to the fun part. We're going to be talking about 33 Nintendo Switch games. I divided them into different categories. The first category is going to be all about RPGs and JRPGs. Second one is going to be all about cozy and farming games. Then we're going to talk about multiplayer games that you can enjoy with your family and friends. And then finally, I have a few picks for you that you can just buy for free. Not buy, they're free. So let's get started. Fire Emblem Three Houses is an amazing tactical RPG with amazing slice of life elements. I was never fond of the Fire Emblem games. Something about them just intimidated me. However, with this one, the balance between your time on the battlefield and that on the campus, where you're constantly building your relationship with your students, is just awesome. Plus, you have 3 houses to choose from, each with their own story, and you also have endgame content, which is gonna give you plenty of hours to look forward to. I decided to give Xenoblade Chronicles a second chance because number 2 really devastated me, so I went with the definitive edition, and I must say, it's a really good one. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 really was annoying to me. I just couldn't understand the combat. I restarted it many times, and I don't know, we're just not friends. However, the definitive edition is much more welcoming to beginners like myself. The characters are funny, the story is engaging, and the world has just so much to offer you. Atelier Ryza 2 is the most magical JRPG that you're ever going to play. This is the sequel to the first Ryza, of course, and you are reuniting with your friends from the first game, and you want to go on an adventure to find treasure. Now, many say that you need to play the first one to connect with the characters, but to me, you know what I did? I actually just went to YouTube and I watched all the cutscenes, and I still became very attached to them. And then when I came to the second game, I was fine. I knew who was who did what, and I didn't really feel like I missed out on much. And I recommend playing the second one because honestly, it has so many quality of life elements that have been added, and so much more room to explore and enjoy battles and alchemy, which I think is much better than the first one. And I'm gonna say this again, no, I did not play the first one, but when I was watching playthroughs of it, the combat just felt like it's gonna be very tedious for me, and no, thank you. I don't want to play that. Play Ryza 2. Now let me ask you this, who doesn't know Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild by now? But it's truly a mesmerizing game that just let us feel what the Switch is going to be capable of letting us experience. This was my first Zelda game, and I loved it. The music, the atmosphere, characters, exploration, everything is just top notch. However, it can be tough at times, and some puzzles are really difficult. I just don't understand why they wanted to go with the gyro controls, I think they're called. It's just, it doesn't work, and it will frustrate you at times, but even with all of that, the positives definitely outweigh the negatives. Now, my first time playing Skyrim was actually vanilla Skyrim on the Nintendo Switch, and I have to say, it hooked me. It was just at that time where I could not get attached to any game for some reason, and then this one comes and it takes me by surprise. The world is massive, class builds are amazing, it runs really well on the Nintendo Switch, and you have so many quests to complete and lore to explore. This is a definite must-buy RPG on the Nintendo Switch. If you don't have it yet, go and buy it. Like, what are you waiting for? Nintendo is known for the Pokemon franchise, and this is actually known to be very beginner friendly if you are still new in the JRPG genre. So you can try Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu, you can go with Pokemon Sword and Shield, or you can go ahead and try the Shining Pearl Brilliant Diamond, I believe. Now, based on what I understand from my Discord members, Sword and Shield is the one that you should go to, and the game did have its own hiccups. The fan base was a little bit torn about it. I don't know why, but I know that my Discord members really like it and they really enjoy it, so I'm telling you about it. My journey with Dragon Quest XI has been anything but smooth. I tried to play it so many times before I can finally get the hang of it, and it was all because of my community here on YouTube, so thank you guys for helping me out. Years after its release, I can finally say that I am absolutely in love with it. Now, I wouldn't say this is a beginner-friendly JRPG because it is kind of like how the classic JRPG games go, but once you get the hang of the basics, once you start to understand what you need to do, you are in for a treat. The world is beautiful, the characters are amazing, so try it out. Dragon's Dogma can be said to be Skyrim's less popular sister or less popular friend, but the games are pretty close in terms of how fun and amazing they are. In Dragon's Dogma, you have the pawn system where you can borrow anybody's character, like even your friends, and you can let them help you in the game, and you can even use your own characters and give them to other people. Now, the system of course has more delicate details, but we don't have enough time to cover them. If you are done with Skyrim and want the next game, this one is definitely worth a buy. It has so many vocations to choose from, crazy battle mechanics, and an engaging world to dive into. Now, I haven't personally tried Shin Megami Tensei 5, but I know that many of you would want me to recommend it, so there we are. I personally stay away from it because I heard that it's pretty difficult to get into, but based on what I understand, this is a turn-based JRPG with a fun twist to win battles. You actually get to negotiate with enemies, which actually makes me curious and I might try it someday. I know Undertale has a similar mechanic, but I haven't played that either, so I really can't talk about either of these games. Monster Hunter Stories 2 is another turn-based JRPG that I recommend, but don't say that I didn't warn you. As cute as it looks, it can kick your butt if you don't pay attention. It actually follows a rock, paper, scissors kind of battle system, and you have these monsters to ride and befriend. The world is gorgeous, you have plenty of weapons to master and items to craft. It is a very fun experience, but again, pay attention, otherwise you will lose battles very easily. Blue Reflection Second Light just got released recently and I got to cover the demo for it, and that's really all that I've played so far, but it is really fun and I'm looking forward to buying the full game very soon. Now, with that being said, and after seeing the reviews, I can safely recommend it to you if you're looking for a magical girl experience with school facility, building mechanics, slice of life elements, and a fun and engaging battle system. Not only that, but the story is very interesting, so check it out if it seems like something you might enjoy. Now, I tried Octopath Traveler's demo and I really thought that it sucked. I'm gonna be very honest, but I finally gave it a chance. I bought the full game and I was wrong. If you're looking to step up your JRPG game, this is the next one that you should have your eyes on. You have 8 travelers, each with their own adventure, story, abilities, and skills to play and explore, and the art style is beautiful, and some of the stories, I must admit, are pretty interesting. However, you might need to grind a little bit. I mean, this is a JRPG, so I don't know what you're expecting. And the thing that I don't like the most is the save system. But hey, I just let you know what are my gripes with some games, so yeah. After talking about so many action-heavy RPGs and JRPGs, I think it's time for us to wind down a little bit and talk about cozy/farming games. Now, this would not be a Miss Bubbles video if Cozy Grove is not on the list. In this game, you play as a spirit scout who ventures to an island where ghosts need your help so they can be at peace. With completing your tasks, you can buy items and decorate your island, you can decorate your home, you can buy yourself clothes, and so much more. Also, the date and time sync with your real life, which adds a lot to your immersion. This is the kind of game where you want to play for 30 to 40 minutes max and just put it down, and I really like it because if you're in for just a little bit of playtime but you can't really invest in a very heavy RPG, then this is really good for you. Another typical recommendation from Miss Bubbles would definitely be Spiritfarer. It is just unfair, in my opinion, to not mention this as a must-buy cozy game. You play as Stella, and here you are on a boat trying to guide spirits into the afterlife. The journey, though, is not that simple. On the way, you get to upgrade your ship, build facilities, you can build homes for your spirits, you can farm, cook, and so much more. And then when the time comes to say goodbye, have some tissues nearby. I swear I did not mean for this to rhyme. Oh my god. But really, it's gonna be emotional. I need to stop. I think at this point, we can all agree, if you've played Dragon Quest Builders 2, we need a new game, and if you haven't played it, like, what in the world are you waiting for? This one combines the blocky art style found in Minecraft with cute characters, a funny and interesting story, and many worlds to discover. It lets you tap into your creativity without leaving you hanging, which lets you feel like you have a purpose. Not only are you building, you're also engaging in battles to fight the game's villain. It is just really a charming title, and I think you really need to try it. I mean, I think I made this clear. You need to try it. A game that really surprised me is Littlewood. Every time I saw it on my Steam page, I would just pass by. I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna like this. But I was wrong, and I'm here to confess my sins. One day I was like, okay, let me just try this, and well, I got hooked. I know the graphics might put you off like they did to me, but trust me, if you want a cozy, casual, and cute game, don't skip on this one. Here you are building a town, making friendships, discovering secrets and mysteries, unlocking new worlds, and so much more. You gather resources and you get blueprints and buy items, and it's really very fun to play. I have a full review of it if you want to learn more about it. It's just really entertaining. Now, like many of you, I cannot wait for Rune Factory 5, but until then, we actually have Rune Factory 4, which was ported to the Nintendo Switch. This is a life sim slash farming slash monster taming slash dating slash everything awesome game. There is an adventurous story for you to discover, which actually makes things a lot more fun because you're basically mistaken to be a prince or princess, and even when the truth comes out, the real royal human being decides to keep you in their place so you can fulfill the duties and the responsibilities while they venture off to do other things. There are plenty of activities for you to do, but there might be some confusion since some of the quests have certain requirements to be triggered, but hey, it's nothing that a quick Google search cannot fix. I have finally went back to Story of Seasons Pioneers of Olive Town after it got all of the patches that we actually needed. You know, when it first released, it was pretty lacking and it needed so many quality of life updates, but now it's so much better, and I can with a peace of mind tell you that I actually recommend it. I'm actually gonna be making a full review about it, by the way. This is a farming life sim game where you take care of your farm, your ranch animals, pets, you get married, have kids, work on your house, build friendships, and so much more. The game still has its limitations, like not even letting you decorate your house the way you want it to be, but despite that, I think it's actually worth buying now. Another awesome game that I think you should buy is called Squishing the like and subscribe buttons if you're finding this video in any chance useful or helpful. I really appreciate that. Now let's go back to the video. Unpacking is a really cute gem that not a lot of people are talking about, and I think we should fix that. This is a Zen puzzle game with charming music and an emotional story to uncover. Basically, you're packing as you move from house to house and you're growing older and you're getting more stuff to own. You know, I actually don't like puzzle games, but this one is not that kind of puzzle game that we're thinking about. It is more like knowing where to put your items, knowing that some items don't fit in certain rooms, stuff like that. So it is actually something different, and if you're looking for a different kind of game, then why not check it out? Yoshi's Crafted World is a game that I don't personally enjoy, but I know a lot of people like it a lot, so I thought I should have it on this list. I don't like platformers, it's just the way I am, but I know many of you like this genre, so here we are. The art style is cute, if I do say so myself, but do keep in mind that the game is very short, so I think paying full price might not be the best idea. Haven Park is this very cute and charming indie game that encourages you to go ahead and discover your surroundings without necessarily relying on maps or quest lines. You play as this little bird who wants to help his grandma to run the park because she just wants to retire, and you go ahead and gather resources, you build campsites and attract new visitors, and along the way you will learn about different mysteries in the world and try to uncover them. The music is adorable and the graphics are beautiful, and you can actually press, I think, the A button if I'm not mistaken, and your bird will be like pew 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 pew. It's really cute. You probably know Animal Crossing New Horizons by now because this is pretty much part of every single Nintendo Switch must-buy games video by now, but we're gonna add it in here so I don't get anybody telling me, hey, why didn't you put that game in here? So we're gonna just do it. But to make things a little bit different, I will focus on letting you know that the 2.0 update added so much to the game that it feels like we got a new DLC for it. Not only that, we actually did get new DLC, and it's called the Happy Home Paradise, and it's truly amazing where you can customize villagers' dream vacation homes. Just everything about this new experience is so cozy, entertaining, and I actually invite you to give it a try. Now let's talk about some games that, as much as they can be fun, they can also make you go ahead and curse at your friends and your family when things are not going your way. And before we start with our first game, I actually have a shameless plug-in here. I have a Discord server, so if you don't have people to play with multiplayer games, then you will definitely find some very bubbly members that you can enjoy game nights with. So it's gonna be in the description box. Feel free to join if you are 18 plus. Thank you. Super Mario Superstars, I'm talking about the new one, not the first one that was released on the Nintendo Switch. I hear from my Discord members that it's actually really fun and I'm gonna be buying it very soon. This is a party game that you can enjoy in co-op mode or online with a set of mini games to challenge your friends to. This one also includes 5 board games from the N64, which is the Nintendo 64, so it also plays in that nostalgia factor. As I mentioned, my Discord members play it regularly and I know they really enjoy it, so hey, you might like it too. I recently got back to playing Splatoon 2 with my friend NGG, and honestly, it's been a blast. As much as I curse my way through pretty much all of the matches, it's actually very addictive. A basic match is to play 4 versus 4, where the team that splats the most area with the relevant color wins. However, there are other modes and twists and turns, as well as plenty of weapons and perks to enjoy, so it's actually a really entertaining experience. Mario 8 Kart Deluxe, this is one, like, I think they're just selling it with all Nintendo Switches at this point, but if you don't have it, it's another great one to play with your friends. You have different carts to choose from, as well as characters and circuits, and you can enjoy regular races alone or with your friends. You can also play online or in co-op. There are just so many fun challenges as well. They're kind of like arenas, and they're actually very hilarious to play through. This one is a classic, so if you're going to start with multiplayer games, why not start with this one? Another one that everybody pretty much knows now is Minecraft, but we're gonna add it as well in case maybe you don't know about it. I personally don't enjoy it. I actually bought it and I thought I would like it, but I honestly didn't. Simply put, this is an infinite amount of worlds to explore and conquer, and you start with nothing and build your way through creating like villages, weapons, gear. You go mining, getting food, you cooperate with your friends. I mean, it sounds like a game that Miss Bubbles would like, but I actually really don't like it. But hey, you can always try it. It does go on sale quite a bit, and you can play also solo, but I heard that playing with your friends is the best way to enjoy this one. Overcooked All You Can Eat is a title of stress bundled with joy whenever you actually finish a mission. That's like the best way that I can put it. Here you have to cook your way with your friends through actual chaos. And the thing is, communication is key. So as much as you will be screaming at your friends because you're losing, the amount of joy that you get is just amazing. I played this one with NGG the most, and I must say it is pretty fun times. Now I decided to put Monster Hunter Rise in this category because I think it is best played with friends, and I actually have a kind of a before you buy for it so you can learn more about it, but this one is absolutely amazing. You are a monster hunter and you grind your way to get better gear, master a wide range of weapons, and you take your cute pet with you and you just feel like a badass with your friends on the battlefield. It is intimidating at first, but once you get the hang of it, I promise it's gonna be very worth it and you're gonna find yourself just wanting to play all day long, basically. Moving on to free games, keep in mind that yes, these are free, but you can also go ahead and pay money so you can get more extra content or skins or whatever. So I just want you to be aware if you have a kid and they tell you like, hey mom, dad, I'm playing Fortnite and I need money, they probably need it for something like skins or extra content. Let's start with Trove. This is a voxel art style kind of game that you can play with your friends. And you have different classes to choose from and infinite realms to explore, as well as dungeons to beat and loot to collect, and you actually have a lot of content for the game. Fortnite is a game that I never thought I would say in a game list ever, but if you follow me on Twitter, if you play with me on Discord, then you know I'm playing Fortnite quite a lot. I've just been loving this one and I highly recommend it if you have a chance, but I'm warning you, one match is gonna turn into 100. I actually did buy the battle pass, meaning I did pay money to get skins and whatnot, but honestly you don't have to. I just did it because I like the skins and I think they're cool. But join us on Discord, play Fortnite with us, and I will prove you that this game is really fun. Pokemon Quest is a free Pokemon game and it lets you enjoy a very cute world that is actually in cube form, which is kind of different from what we were used to first seeing in a Pokemon game. You search for treasure and you look for hidden goodies while battling your way through enemies, and you can also design your camp and make it look cute, which is very adorable. Sky Children of Light is an indie game that is all about friendship and discovery and a beautiful world to uncover. It is the perfect game if you're looking for a free, relaxing, and calming adventure. The whole premise is for you to discover the world on your own and explore at your own pace. And the fun part is that you can also meet friends online, and this way you can both enjoy the beautiful landscapes together. Fallout Shelter is the closest Fallout game that we can get at this moment, as it seems, and it's actually for free, and I really recommend that you check it out. It's actually a simulation of a vault where you control the residents and you manage their water, their food, their electricity. You make sure that some of them get married and have babies so you can have more people in your vault. You also have to help them survive against danger and so much more. It's pretty addicting and fun in my opinion for a free game, so try it out. And finally, Genshin Impact. Who am I kidding? I think at this point, they're just not gonna give us this game anytime soon. Now, after talking all about the accessories and the games and all of this, one last thing that you should know about the Nintendo Switch is the online experience. Nintendo Switch Online is a yearly subscription service that you need to buy if you're gonna be playing in multiplayer. You need to buy if you wanna cloud save your games, and you can also go ahead and enjoy some of the games from the older days with it. And they also put out a new one, which is Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion, where you get the Animal Crossing DLC as well as the Genesis and N64 games. Not all of them, of course, just a few of them. Be aware of that if you want to play multiplayer games, or if you tend to change your Nintendo Switch every now and then and you want to carry your save files. For me personally, I get it specifically for being able to play with my friends as well as the cloud saves. Happy holidays, you guys. As the video rolls out, we would have had this channel for 8 months, and I want to say that I am very grateful for all of you. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you so much for my Patreons for going above and beyond, for supporting me, and of course a special shout out to Fantasy Dreamer, Justin, and Faye. As always, you guys are really awesome. I love you so much, and I'm so blessed to have started this adventure this year and met so many amazing people. So I just want to say that I'm very thankful and blessed to have you. As always, stay bubbly, stay positive, and I will see your gorgeous self in the next one. Bye! 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. يعني عن جد كتير حلو التصوير معكم.